When US warships launched Operation Epic Fury in late February 2026, they demolished Iran's nuclear sites, flattened missile production facilities, and sank over 30 Iranian naval vessels. Mission accomplished, right? Not quite. Because the real fight, the one Iran spent 4 decades preparing for, doesn't end when Tehran burns. It begins when the proxies answer the call. Welcome to Iran's asymmetric warfare, a strategy written in blood, forged in the trauma of the Iran-Iraq war, and designed to bleed superpowers dry without ever meeting them head-on. From 1980 to 1988, Iraq's invasion devastated Iran. Chemical weapons, human wave assaults, 1 million dead. The lesson Tehran learned wasn't how to build better tanks. It was how to never fight that kind of war again. 2 principles emerged. Avoid direct conventional battles that can't be won, and ensure war never stays on Iranian soil. So, Iran built something radically different, a network of proxies spanning Lebanon to Yemen, each capable of striking enemies far from Tehran. Hezbollah in Lebanon became the crown jewel. Tens of thousands of fighters, political apparatus, social services. The Houthis in Yemen disrupted Red Sea shipping even after Israeli strikes. In Iraq, militias like Kataib Hezbollah embed within state security forces, ready to strike American bases. All connected, all funded, all answering to Tehran. Iran's asymmetric genius isn't just organizational, it's also technological. Enter the Shahed 136 drone. Delta wing, loitering munition, costs around $20,000 to $50,000 per unit. Compare that to a Patriot interceptor at $4 million. Iran doesn't need precision, it needs volume. Launch 300 Shaheds in a single wave and force defenders into impossible math. Shooting down every drone with million-dollar missiles, or let a few through and watch oil infrastructure burn. The drones now pack radar-absorbent materials, anti-jamming tech, and can even communicate via commercial mobile networks to extend range. Some variants carry backward-mounted air-to-air missiles to target intercepting helicopters. Its low-cost, high-volume lethality is a textbook case of asymmetric warfare. The Pentagon's answer? A multi-layered counter-proxy strategy that pairs kinetic strikes with cyber warfare and unconventional ground proxies of its own. US Cyber Command blinded Iranian air defenses during the Khamenei operation, disrupting communications and sensor networks in a 4-hour cyber blitz that left Tehran unable to coordinate responses. Analysts call it discombobulation warfare. No need to destroy everything if the enemy can't see, communicate, or react. On the ground, Washington is activating its own proxy playbook: Iranian Kurdish militias. CIA operatives are reportedly arming Kurdish forces in Iraqi Kurdistan for potential operations inside western Iran. The plan is to spark an uprising, pin down Iranian security forces, and create a second front while US airstrikes hammer from above. It mirrors the 1991 Iraqi no-fly zone strategy. Clear the skies, arm the locals, let them do the ground fighting. Kurdish groups want autonomy. Washington wants regime pressure. It's transactional, risky, and entirely asymmetric. The supreme leader is dead. Fordo is rubble. But the proxies didn't disband. The Shaheds keep flying. The cyber cells keep probing. Because Iran's network was built to survive decapitation. Washington bombed the nuclear program, but left the strategic challenge intact. a distributed, tech-enabled, multi-domain threat spanning 4 countries, impossible to destroy without occupying half the Middle East. Asymmetric warfare doesn't win wars. It makes winning too costly to sustain. And Tehran's betting that even after the bombs stop, the bleeding won't. Now it's your turn. Can the US dismantle a proxy network built over 4 decades? Or does the Persian model prove that distributed, low-cost threats beat high-tech dominance in the long run? Drop your take in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the next deep dive. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay curious.